Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 1 of a brand new Gran Turismo 6 review series. This series is called B-Road Ballers, and this is a review series for the hot hatches of Gran Turismo 6. And what better way to start a hot hatch review series than with one of the most iconic and most loved hot hatches of all time, the Lancia Delta Integraile Evoluzione. An iconic rally car, one of the most successful rally cars of all time, and in real life you would struggle to find an everyday car that can get from point to point as quickly as a Delta can. Now on paper, the Delta can seem inferior to some other hot hatches. It's expensive, it's seemingly underpowered, and it's old. But it is far from being at a disadvantage. Now, it's a 54,000 credit car, so it's not cheap. It's one of the more expensive hot hatches, but the main reason for that is because of how iconic the car is, and its price is out of respect more than anything else. Now, as I said, it can seem to be at a loss against its rivals, and the reason why I say that is because fully tuned it only puts out 446 horsepower, which is significantly less than many of the other hot hatches produce, such as the Ford Focus ST. And it puts out 365 pound-feet of torque, which, although that's perfectly good, again, it's not among the top hot hatch for power or torque. It does, though, weigh in at only 1,105 kilos with the full weight loss package, and although that's not necessarily as light as you might expect for a rally-based vehicle, you have to bear in mind that this is not that small a car. It's not big, but neither is it a tiny car. A normal-sized person can fit in a Delta easily. It's no K car, that's for sure. Now, the power-to-weight ratio is actually very good, despite the apparent lack of power. This car actually produces 404 horsepower per tonne, which is very respectable, and also means that it is naturally inclined toward being a track car. But what kind of track car is it? Because it's certainly a very respected and iconic car in real life, but as we've seen from Gran Turismo before, that's no guarantee that a car will be good on the game. So what is it like on the game? Well, overall, the Delta has unique handling among hot hatches. It has its own personality. It has a very big personality, a very distinct personality, and obviously it is all-wheel drive, which is different to many hot hatches. Most hot hatches by far are front-wheel drive. Now, many people who have less knowledge than they think they do about racing and the real principles involved in racing will tell you that all-wheel drive is like cheating because it gives you more grip and makes up for a lack of skill. These people are wrong, because it does not. All-wheel drive does make your car quicker off the line, and it does mean that you have more grip at all times, potentially twice as much grip. But that is not necessarily a good thing, because if you have twice the amount of wheels being driven, that means that the car is at least half as inclined to turn. In other words, the car wants to be going in a straight line. It does not want to turn into a corner. And that is commonly known as understeer, or heavy steering in layman's terms. So it is far from being easy to drive an all-wheel drive vehicle. Now, anyone can drive an all-wheel drive vehicle, but not anyone can get the best out of an all-wheel drive vehicle. And overall, they're not as OP as many people think, because all-wheel drive also makes the car heavier, so everything has its payoff for every advantage it gives you. So all-wheel drive is really no better than rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. It's just different and offers different advantages. There are certain tracks that it's good for, certain tracks that it's not good for. Now, on the Nürburgring, it kind of breaks even, because the Nürburgring has a mix of all types of corner, road height, undulation, speed, so you can pretty much drive any car to a decent lap if you know how. But with other tracks, you will feel at a significant disadvantage with front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive depending on the track. Now the Delta I would not say is an easy car to drive, or I should say it's not an easy car to get the best out of. It is a bit more challenging and a bit more intimidating than some other hot hatches, mainly because of how much fanfare there is around the Delta. Many people know how successful it was in real life, and it also has a very hardcore, raw image around the car. There's no fancy stuff, it's not designed to look nice, it's not designed to be fluffy and cuddly, it's designed to win. And as such, it is an intimidating car to people who are less experienced. But for those who do stick with the car and learn to tame it, it is a brutal track weapon. It is stonkingly quick off the line, supercar pace of low-end acceleration. Obviously top end, it can't keep up with a supercar, but overall as a track machine it is a formidable opponent, especially to other hatchbacks. Now this lap here was a 6-minute 58-second lap, and that was running on a drag tune, which is only designed for straight lines. So that tells you, without very much thought, the potential that this car has, that I didn't even tune it for track use and it still put in a sub 7-minute lap. That is supercar pace. So overall the Delta is a hot hatch for those who fancy more of a challenge and who like driving icons, really, because anyone can pull out the usual hot hatches like the Focus, the Golf, etc. But the Delta is the kind of car for people who appreciate classic engineering and who like a challenge. So that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.